2004, it's time for
favourites in 4. Will she get away? Yes, she's out like a flash, and it's Axel Grease racing clear to the corner. One Mustang Mega's in second. This is the way they went into the bend last week. It's Axel Grease in front from one Mustang Mega and into the back straight. Now it's Axel Grease in front, being challenged by 1 yard in second. 1 yard putting in a big run on the inside. Mustang Mega, it's Axel Grease. 1 yard on the outside, a bump between them, and still Axel Grease. Mustang Mega back in second. 1 yard in third, in around the home straight. Now it's still in front. Axel Grease being challenged by Mustang Mega, coming to the line. Yes, number 4, Axel Grease takes it from Mustang Mega in second.
Well, they couldn't have been any closer in last year's final there, as we had that magnificent victory by Axel Grease. Mustang Mega finishing up in second place. And by the way, Mustang Mega's trainer Stephen Burke is back this year with another very highly fancied dog. You're very welcome to Shelbourne Park on the night of the final of the Sporting Press Irish Oaks. A lot of money on offer for the race tonight, about €80,000 in all. Top prize and a trophy. The top prize is €35,000. It's part of 3 live races we plan to show you between now and 10 o'clock, so we hope we'll have the pleasure of your company. This is what we have in store for you. Let's take a check on the 3 races. The first one coming up now very shortly indeed. It's named after one of the top writers with the Sporting Press, Declan O'Donoghue, an open race over 550 yards. And then there's the Consolation, some of the semi-finalists that didn't make it through to the final. That Consolation Oaks final is at 9:20. And then the big one itself, Sporting Press Irish Oaks final for 2004, it's time for 20 to 10. Well, we're looking forward to a magnificent race here, magnificent racing indeed tonight, because it's a lovely night here in Dublin. A lot of great dogs are here. This is the Bitch Classic, of course, and I'm joined now by Ian Fortune, who's been taking a look at the market for the big race itself, the one off at 20 to 10, the Oaks final. I suppose Side Saga in 1 has to be fancy, but what about Legal Moment?
Well, big money in the ring at the moment. Side Saga is probably the most supported greyhound at the moment. It was backed with the firms today. The likes of Paddy Power did lay a lot of money at 11-4. They're not going 5-2 freely. Teddy Hegarty is going 5-2 in the ring. He said Legal Moment is his lay of the night. He's going to lay this one to lose a fortune at 7-4. He's going to paint it on, and he's not going to remove it. So if this one comes in, Teddy's going out a very poor man indeed, I'd say.
Oh, poor old Teddy. Well, I'm sure he'll have other ideas. Let's have a look at the betting, if we just sort of take us through this, Ian.
Well, Side Saga very well drawn on the inside at 5-2. Of course, Stephen Burke has plenty of supporters, and he went very close last year with Mustang Mega. She's very popular at 5-2. Greg's Echo, big each way chance I think at 12-1. Legal Moment at 7-4. She may even touch 2-1 if the money doesn't come for her at 7-4. Page 3 Girl, the big outsider at 50-1. There'll be nibblers at that, but I can't see her being, well, too strongly supported. 5 Greenlock Slippers, 7-1. She was drifted. She was 5-1 during the week. And Trap 6 things to do. Teddy Hegarty's gone 7-2. He fancies this one a lot. He thinks he'll go very, very close indeed. And she could drop to about 7-2, perhaps 3-1 by the time of the off.
Greg's Echo could be very good value at 10-1.
Indeed, she's 12-1 in places. If one of the favourites, 1 or 3, happen to miss the kick, this one could get a great run. I've been saying it all week. I just wouldn't be surprised if she went very, very close. She's very fast. She's youngest in the lineup, and she's certainly still open to improvement. I wouldn't rule it out.
Okay, we'll be looking forward to some more news from the market very, very shortly. Ian, thanks for that for now. Well, we're looking forward to that final. As I say, it's off at 20 to 10, the final of the Irish Oaks. Our first race is over 550 yards, named after Declan O'Donoghue of the Irish, the Sporting Press. And let's see how that pans out now with our commentator, Michael Fortune.
Yes, well, the runners on parade now for this 5th race on the card, this Open 550, a very high-class contest here, where we have, well, 3 dogs dominating the betting really. Number 1, Enchanting Hero, 3 Dundrum Prince, and 6 Droopy's Carling. These are 3 greyhounds that figure very prominently in betting on the forthcoming Paddy Power Irish Derby, and of course next week the Boyle Sports Champion Stakes getting underway, and I'd imagine all 3 of these will be in the lineup for it. Enchanting Hero, young greyhound, trained by Reggie Roberts. He's running in Trap 1, a dog that was bought through the syndication system of the Irish Greyhound Board. There you see him in number 1, owned by David Giles, the son of Top Honcho and Enchantment. He did a 28.31 here on our last programme, the Ladbroke 600 night, and since then he has won the Consolation St. Ledger around Limerick. There you see number 2 getting a good rub down here. That's Jamie MacJack, owned by Larry O'Shea, trained by John Donnelly in Dublin, a son of Thomas the Best and Night Harmony, winner last week of the Derby qualifier here at Shelbourne. Number 3 there, heading towards traps, is Dundrum Prince and his trainer Kevin Losty, owned by Paddy McArdle. He won the final of the Longford Derby last weekend. Very good greyhound. Number 5 just in behind him, If You Can Ish, owned by Noel O'Neill, trained by Owen O'Neill, a son of Spiral Nikita, and Arden and Eve Molly. Then in 4, Chucky R. Paul, which we saw there on parade, owned by the Glaffy Syndicate, trained by Paul Hennessy, a son of Larkin Joe and Levin Python. And in 6, Droopy's Carling, a very pacey greyhound. You see him just being put in there on the very far side into trap 6, owned by David Miles, trained by Owen McKenna, a son of Droopy's Vieri and Droopy's Chloe. But they're the 6 runners now in traps for this 5th race on the card here, this Open 550-yard contest. So all the dogs now in traps for this one. A pretty tight betting affair. 11 to 10 favourite number 1, Enchanting Hero. It's 7 to 2 number 3, Dundrum Prince, and number 6, Droopy's Carling, and 8 to 1 Borrow the 3. So that's the lineup for this 5th race, the Open 550. They're now all in. The steward will now give the signal for the bell to ring, which is now about to ring for this 5th race. The Declan O'Donoghue Open 550. Our 5th race in trap 1 is Enchanting Hero, 2 Jamie MacJack, in 3 Dundrum Prince, 4 Chucky R. Paul, 5 Iffiganish, and in 6 is Droopy's Carling. The hare coming around behind the traps. The favourite is in trap 1. Will he get away? Well, the answer is reasonably well. He is. He's getting a lovely run up the inside. 3 Dundrum Prince. The 2 of them racing to the end together on the inside. 1 Enchanting Hero. 3 Dundrum Prince and Enchanting leads. But it's only a neck in it as Dundrum battles back. Number 2 very much on the premises also. That's Jamie MacJack. We've a battle on here. Enchanting Hero still holding the call. But Jamie MacJack going up the inside. He'd be a huge upset in this one. And he's bang there on the inside as to come around the final bet. Number 2 Jamie MacJack. 1 Enchanting Hero challenging on the outside. 3 back in 3rd, Dundrum Prince. Oh, a bump between them as to come towards the line. Oh, it's very close there. A few bumps between these leading dogs in this race. It was quite a messy affair. The time is 30:33. We'll leave it to the judge to call the result of this one. Well, that was a very close battle all the way, and it really was a bit of a battle. Yes, a photo finish called, and it is mighty close between Jamie MacJack, number 2. I think the last show we saw was 12 to 1 he was in the betting. There we see him just being corrected there. But Jamie MacJack, winner here. He sprang a big surprise last week when winning the Paddy Power Derby trial stake here at Shelbourne Park. Has he done it again, we wonder? And there we see the dogs being picked up. That's Enchanting Hero, Geraldine Fitzpatrick leading this favourite for the race, and looked, and an upset. The result, number 2, Jamie MacJack has sprung a big upset here, winning from number 1, Enchanting Hero, with Dundrum Prince in 3rd. The time 30:33. As we see the race again, and well, number 2 running wide to the corner, Jamie MacJack. Now number 3, Dundrum Prince, gets up on the outside of 1 Enchanting Hero. Very close between them. And in 3rd, now watch this dog, number 2, Jamie MacJack. He actually outpaced these dogs down the far side as he moved up the inside. Enchanting Hero just in front, 3 on the outside, Dundrum Prince, 2 Jamie MacJack on the inside, just gets through there. Number 3, Dundrum Prince, takes a bump at this stage. Now it's Jamie MacJack again, off the last bend, just showing in front from 1 Enchanting Hero, who's challenging now up the straight. A bump there between them, and now again just coming to the line, another little brush there between them, and just on the nod it was on the line. It must have been desperately close between the pair of them. And there we see it again, coming off the last bend. You've got a good view here of this bump between the 2 dogs there. Very much both of them lost their action a little bit, as we see just in behind them Dundrum Prince, and now just coming to the line on the nod. Oh, it was mighty close. In fact, I thought Enchanting Hero might just have got it, but there you see the photo print is very decisive in the end for number 2, Jamie MacJack. He wins by a short head at odds of 12 to 1. Second, number 1, Enchanting Hero, the 11 to 10 favourite, and in 3rd place, number 3, Dundrum Prince, at 7 to 2. The time 30:33.
Well, the bookies will be pleased, won't they? Well, that's the first of our 3 live races. We have the consolation race for you of the Oaks. That's scheduled in about 15 minutes' time, around about 20 past 9. And then, of course, the final of the Irish Oaks for 2004 itself. The Bitch Classic is off at 9:40, 20 to 10. Well, irrespective of the sport, whether it's soccer or whether it's rugby, there's nothing like a joust with the old enemy, I think, to revive spirits. It really is great. Ireland versus England. And it's exactly the same in Greyhound racing. Now, the setting last Monday was Dundalk's newly revamped track, a lovely track there on the road between Dublin and Belfast. You can't miss it. It really is attractive. That was the venue for the latest showing of Ireland versus England in Greyhound racing, revived after 5 years. It was some fun, it was a great night, and Michael Fortune was there.
It was back in 1968 that the Dundalk International was first run at the Ramparts venue. It continued there to 1999. Some tremendous races, great greyhounds representing Britain and Ireland. Normally 3 from Britain, 3 from Ireland. Fortune swayed, the Brits won one year, Irish won the next year. The last race, 1999, born a survivor and a great winner. The Ramparts closed. The move out to this magnificent stadium here at Dowdall's Hill. We're here tonight for the Boyle Sports 2004 International. A marvellous occasion. 3 of the best from Britain, 3 of the best from Ireland. Unfortunately, an absentee, number 4 Valencia Sidetrade. But in his place, a real speedster called Indian Ruler from Trap 4. Let's have a look at the runners for the Boyle Sports Dundalk International.
In 1, Ballymacule, 2 is Make All, 3, Droopy Sure, 4, Indian Ruler, 5, Great Lark, and 6, Tom Shea Boy. The hare coming up behind the traps. The break will be vital. And away they go. There's number 4 out fast. That's Indian Ruler as expected. Leading up from 6, Tom Shea Boy in 1. Ballymacule in 3rd. Around the opening corner, an Indian Ruler. Leading by a few lengths, but look where Ballymacule is a perfect position in 2nd. As they head down the far side, it's number 4 Indian Ruler. 6 Tom Shea Boy putting in a big run coming into the 3rd bend. There's a couple of lengths between them. Will Indian Ruler stay home? His stamina could be suspect. It's Indian Ruler out front. In 2nd is Tom Shea Boy, number 6. And then comes 1 Ballymacule up to the line, Indian Ruler. And here comes 6 Tom Shea Boy. And Tom Shea Boy grabs it from 4 Indian Ruler 2nd. 1 is 3rd Ballymacule. And flying in the finish at 4th was 5 Great Lark. The time 29.94, but Tom Shea Boy has landed yet another international for the team of Patsy Byrne and Pa Fitz. They previously won it with Dynamic Fair twice in 1996 and 97 and Air Flyer in 1994.
This is the best all-round dog I ever had. He has brilliant early pace, and I would stay strong 5.75. And with look, I think he's capable for any greyhound anywhere in the world. Like, he can break and he can stay, and he never gets tired. I mean, how many races he got in the last 2 weeks? Like, you know, and he just loves it. So I think he's a very fast greyhound, capable of anything.
Well, that was a great night in Dundalk this week, and Tom Shea Boy there, the victor for Ireland, and a great victory for Pa Fitzgerald as well. They enjoy their racing there. People are enjoying their racing here at Shelbourne Park tonight, and of course it's Oaks night, the Bitch Classic night. We're going to look back on one of the earlier races here on the car. This was the 2nd race. It's called the Racing in the North of Ireland. It's over 525 yards. Once again, our commentator leading us into it is Michael Fortune.
Our 2nd race, 525 yards. In 1, Ger Pats Alice. 2 is Double Agent. 3, Move Over Amber. 4, Asahi. 5, Forest Joe. And trap 6, Cheyenne River. That's the favourite, Cheyenne River in 6th. The 7-4 favourite as the hare comes up behind traps number 1 at 5-2. And away they go. Number 1 fast out. That's Ger Pats Alice, but 6, Cheyenne River showing good pace on the outside. Number 2, Double Agent in between them. On the corner, it's 1 and 2 now. Have gone on. It's 1, Ger Pats Alice by about a neck. Now number 2 is level and neck down the far side. Number 2, Double Agent just showing ahead of 1. Ger Pats Alice, 3 making big ground move over Amber, and 6 on the outside, Cheyenne River. But number 2 goes on again, Double Agent between the final 2 bends, with number 3 trying to challenge again. It's Move Over, number 2, Double Agent, move around, Amber coming. Cheyenne River coming fast on the outside, 3 and 6 coming to the line. Very close between 3, Move Over Amber, 6, Cheyenne River. A dramatic finish there to that one, and definitely one for the judge. Well, this is a race that's changed on a few occasions. Number 1, Gerpat's Alice getting away well. 2, Double Agent going up strongly. They're neck and neck on the corner, and they were to have a great battle. In behind them, 3 and 6, Move Over Amber and Cheyenne River. They really entered this at the third bend. There's 2, Double Agent taking over here from 1, Gerpat's Alice in the second. 3, Move Over Amber trying to challenge at the third bend, forced to check, but 1, Gerpat's Alice has to check as well, and suddenly 3 and 6 get another run at number 2, Double Agent. He's leading for home, but coming strongly on the outside, we have number 3, Move Over Amber, 6, Cheyenne River. Very close as they hit the line. It was mighty close between them there. A great finish, a really exciting one there as we get another view of the finish coming up the straight towards the line. 2 Double Agents still in front, but now the other pair flash past 3 and 6 on the line, inseparable virtually. But the judge, as you can see, was able to separate them, and the result, number 3, Move Over Amber, the winner at 4-1. Second, Cheyenne River, number 6, at 7-4 favourite, and third, number 2, Double Agent at 6-1. The time 29:23.
Well, it's amazing the sort of people that you bump into at the Dogs, and I'm delighted to have bumped into Des Smith, of course, the famous Irish golfer Des Smith. And you have had a winner.
Yes, we have. A friend of mine at my local club, Baltray, Val Rogers, talked us into getting involved with a dog. So we have a little syndicate called Gross. It's the name. It's our surname, so it added up to Gross, which was nice.
I'm going to ask where that came about.
And I've been up twice, and the dog has won twice. Its name is Move Over Amber. It won the second race here tonight, so we're really delighted. It's a real thrill.
Well, it's very appropriate that you mentioned Baltray, because next week is the Irish Open, and you're not playing yourself. You said you were playing up the north.
Yeah, sadly I'm not, because I'm now on the Champions Tour in America, and the British Senior Open is in Portrush next week, Royal Portrush, and it's part of the US circuit. So I'm really tied into playing in that. I'd love to have played in Baltray. It's my home club now. So, but I'm sure it'll be a great week, and there's a real buzz down there at the moment.
And what are you expecting as regards who's going to really make the grade next week?
Well, I mean, we're all hoping for an Irish win. We had high hopes this week at the Open with Darren and Paul McGinley and Podrick, and you know, they started well enough, but they didn't sustain it. So let's hope that they bring their best form for next week. We'd love to see an Irish winner there.
Yeah, we certainly would. And you're spending a lot of time in the States, you're saying?
Yes, I'm on the Champions Tour. I'm doing about 8 or 9 months a year over there. Last year was a very good season for me. I finished in the top 20. I'm a bit behind the 8 ball this year. I'm not playing as well, but you know, I've got about 8 or 10 weeks left, so I'm hoping to change that.
And you still love the game?
I love what I do, and I just wish I was a bit better at it.
I don't think you're too bad at all, Des. Thanks very much, and well done with the dog tonight.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, as Tracy was saying there, you'd be surprised who you might meet at a night in the Dogs in Shelbourne Park. Good to see one of our great sporting heroes, Des Smith, there. And of course, it's such a busy time for golf right now, British Open on, and of course, more events coming up to look forward to in the next couple of weeks. Well, one of the things which we know from your letters and from your calls that people love to get on Greyhound racing is a dip into the past, a look into the archives. And that's what we've been doing over the past week or so. We think we've come up with something rather special. And the question for you here is, can you tell us what year this race took place in? What was the year? Have a look.
Number 1 there, that beautiful white, is owned and bred in Limerick by J.P. Ryan and trained in Tipperary by Jar McKenna. This bitch is a mother of 9 pups, whelped in May of this year, and can be backed at 4-1. Number 2 is Say Ship, the outsider here, owned by Max Berstein, bred by Edward Barrett and trained by Jackie Gleeson. This one is 10-1. Number 3, the first of 2 runners by Mrs. Noreen Barry, owned and bred by Noreen herself, trained by Francie Murray, and this one has already joined the elite in Greyhound circles by running 525 yards in under 29 seconds. This one is 5-1 in the betting. Number 4, red hot favourite, Nameless Pixie, 6-4, owned by Mrs. Rita Macaulay, bred by her husband Ben, and again trained by Jar McKenna down in Tipperary. Third in the Derby, winner of the Carroll's race in Dundalk, 6-4. Number 5, the English-owned Dogsfoot Lady, owned by Bill Drinkwater, bred in Kerry by Paddy Fitzgibbon of Red Barrel fame and trained by Jack Murphy. And number 6 is the second of Noreen Barry's runners. This one is Shady Lilac, again bred and owned by herself and trained by Francie Murray. This one likes the number 6 box and can be backed at 4.5-1. The hare rounding the last bend, coming towards the box, £10,000 for the winner, and away they go, and it's out in front, Shady Lilac. Shady Lilac and Sweeping Maid for JP Ryan in front, but Shady Lilac outside it. It's still Sweeping Maid, but in the second place now it's Say Ship. but still out in front there is Sweeping Maid, this mother of 9, approaching the third bend, with Ship inside it. It's still Sweeping Maid out in front. Sweeping Maid still in front, coming around the last bend, with Ship coming towards it, coming down towards the line, hustling towards the line. Here comes the favourite over the line. Nameless Pixie, the winner of the Line Industrial Oaks of 1979, coming as it did with a late run in all the rounds. The time hasn't yet gone up on the road on the board, but the winner definitely Nameless Pixie.
Well, how about the year? Well, the Pope was here and the late Jack Lynch was still the Taoiseach. It was 1979. How the racetracks of Ireland have changed in the last 25 years. Well, good to see that. Hope you enjoyed it. Now, let's go ahead and look at our next live race, which is the Consolation Oaks final. Some of the dogs who did not make it into the final proper. Not here tonight, Graceland's Pixie, who was an out-and-out anti-post favourite for the main event. But the other domino very much is. He's in 6th. Let's lead into that now with Michael Fortune.
Yes, Ger, well, looking back at that one there, you notice the jackets, the way they have changed. The outside 3 jackets have all been switched, of course, to get in international, well, in line with other countries, particularly Britain. Anyway, back to the present and the consolation final here. The runners out in the middle of the field on parade for this one. I'd expect this would be very much a 2-dog race betting-wise between number 4 Ballymac Floss and number 6 the other Domino. I'm sure we'll get a show of betting very shortly as we see the runners now making their way towards traps. That's number 5 Kyle Wisdom there, owned by Michael Field, the former Chief Executive Officer of the Irish Greyhound Board, daughter of Larkill Joe and Wise Beauty. There is the betting. Number 4 Ballymac Floss, the 5-4 favourite. 6 the other Domino at 7-4. It's 4-1 number 3 Airmount Liz and 10-1 Bar. Well, we've had a 12-1 winner of our previous race, our first race we've seen, and now could we have another one here perhaps? Number 5 Kyle Wisdom. It's the first one we saw in the parade. Number 4 Ballymac Floss, she's the favourite, owned by Liam Dowling down in Ballymacalligot in County Kerry, daughter of Tom's the Best and Blonde Returns. There we see Kyle Wisdom going towards traps. Number 1 Fiery Val, owned by Lara Wall from Nurney, this daughter of Tom's the Best and Fiery Annie. Going into 3 in the middle there is Airmount Liz, owned by Ger Kiley, a daughter of Larkill Joe and Airmount Jessica. Next to Gwyn, we'll see number 6, that's the other Domino, this great bitch owned by Frances O'Donnell, a daughter of Larkill Joe and the other Joy. She's a powerful finisher. On the near side in the blue jacket, Bring Your Own, owned by Pat Whelan, a daughter of Carlton Bale and Aqueduct Tune. And that, well, we've seen the 6 of them there. They're all in traps at this stage. The bell ringing for this 6th race here at Shelbourne, and a very competitive race we're going to see. So the consolation final of the Sporting Press Oaks: in 1 Fiery Val, 2 is Bring Your Own, 3 Airmount Liz, 4 Ballymac Floss, 5 Kyle Wisdom and 6 is the other Domino. The favourite is number 4 Ballymac Floss. Very close second favourite, number 6, as the hair behind traps and away they go, and 4 is out well. Ballymac Floss going up with her, number 3 Airmount Liz into the corner, and Ballymac Floss with number 1 gets up the inside, Fiery Val, and leads on the corner from 4 Ballymac Floss. 6 the other Domino, well positioned on the outside. She's a powerful finisher. So too is number 4 Ballymac Floss, who takes over. Heading into the third bend, it's 4 Ballymac Floss in front from 1 Fiery Val, 2 Bring Your Own putting in a run, and 6 the other Domino. A little bit slower to get into action than usual, but turning for home, it's 4 Ballymac Floss being challenged now by 2 Bring Your Own, but Ballymac Floss racing away to win this one impressively. Number 2 Bring Your Own finishes second, and possibly number 5 Kyle Wisdom gets up for third. The time is 28:67, so that's fine consolation for Liam Dowling. So a very exciting race there, and Ballymac Floss, she did the stuff in style. Fiery Val got up her inside at the corner, showed a lot of early pace. Fiery Val in that particular race got up, and it looked as if there could be a shocking store down the far side, but then Ballymac Floss came through again before the third bend and sealed it in the style of the very, very useful bitch she is. Now let's have another look at it. There she's away quite well with number 3 Airmount Liz, but look up the inside, number 1 Fiery Val. She comes up strongly, takes over on the bend as Ballymac. She's been in a lot of trouble in recent weeks, Ballymac, but she's still as game as John O'Neill would say, as game as a pedal. And down the far side she gets back up the inside of Lara Wall's which Fiery Val. Now number 2 Bring Your Own running on well in third. The other Domino was disappointing tonight. She's had a lot of racing, this bitch, a great bitch on her night, but the acceleration wasn't there tonight. But it's Ballymac Floss, this August 02, daughter of Tom's the Best and Blonde Returns, racing on to win this one for owner, breeder, trainer Liam Dowling from Ballymacalligot. And she really does it in style. This is a bitch that could go on to 6 bends and become an absolute star. She's really consistent of every distance. I really like this bitch, the way she runs, a particular favourite of mine, and she's done it here tonight in style. The result, the winner, number 4 Ballymac Floss, the 5-4 favourite. Second, number 2 Bring Your Own at 10-1, and third, number 1 Fiery Val, also 10-1. The time 28:67.
A lovely even performance there by Ballymac Floss, the favourite in the Consolation Stakes. €2,000 to the winning connections. They're getting boisterous in the background. They're getting excited because the Oaks final itself is coming up very shortly. It's the 71st running of the Sporting Press Irish Oaks. A lot of money at stake. We have that for you after the break. You're very welcome back indeed to Shelbourne Park here on the night of the Sporting Press final of the Irish Oaks, the Bitch Classic. Top prize of €35,000 and a nice trophy as well. That race off in about 12 minutes from now. Well, before we see the 6 finalists and how they got through their semi-finals, Ian Fortune has joined me once again. Ian, what is the latest in the market?
Oh, it's all changed. Well, the majority of bookmakers have started pricing it now, and within that, Legal Moment is now the 2-to-1 joint favourite along with Side Saga. Huge money on Side Saga. She's the one they all want to be on. Every punter in the place seems to be on Side Saga. She's 2-to-1 now. She touched 11-to-4 earlier on. She's now 2-to-1 along with Legal Moment. Still about 4-to-1 the bottom. That's things to do. There you see Side Saga 5-to-2. But as I was coming up, I heard Legal Moment being shouted at 2-to-1 and Side Saga. I'll tell you something. There's very, very little 5-to-2 available. It's all about 2-to-1 now. Number 2, Greg's Echo, subject to a small bit of support. That's 10-to-1. Page 3, girl. We knew that to come for the 5ers and 10er punters. The not so regulars maybe come and just have a flutter at a 50-to-1 chance. Now 33-to-1. 7's Greenlock Slip, and number 6, Things to Do, popular with some of the bookmakers, a 4-to-1 chance.
The amazing thing about Page 3 girl in 4, in spite of everything, she's still there.
Oh, she's there. Every year we come up with one, and I'll tell you what, she'll be thereabouts to the corner as well. She's a lightning trapper. She's a real professional to the corner. Maybe she doesn't have quite the class or the speed, but I'll tell you something. She's a decent little bitch, and she happens to get to the front of the corner, pile up. You never know. Stranger things have happened.
Right, we're going to have a look at the semi-finals, Ian, at this stage. And I think one of the things you might note is that I think tonight in this final, the way they're all drawn, that first bend is going to be terribly, terribly important. So the break is going to be so crucial. We're going to start by looking back at the first of the semi-finals from last Saturday night. Take a look here in particular at Legal Moment, the favourite, as you know. And Legal Moment, she's in trap 3.
Air behind traps and away to go. Legal Moment is away quite well, but it's 5 Greenlock Slip and 4 Fahanges. Legal Moment on the inside and bursting her way through on the inside to lead off the second bend. With 6 on her outside, Things to Do now shows in front. It's 6 Things to Do from 3 Legal Moment in second. 5 Greenlock Slip is third, and then 4 Fahanges into the third bend, and still number 6 Things to Do. She stays strongly. She's in front from 3 Legal Moment in second. 5 Greenlock Slip is third. 6 runs very wide off the final bend. It's still number 6 Things to Do wins this one. In second place is number 3 Legal Moment. 5 Greenlock Slip just holding on from 1 Bring Your Own. The time 28:61.
I ran her in the Leinster Oaks last year, and I ran her one race in Shelbourne after Christmas, and she won a race in it, and I left her totally off for the Oaks. Nearly left her too long. She needed a race, and I didn't give it to her in time, but she qualified every night up to the last Saturday night and won the semi-final. Terrific run, 28:61. I was over the moon to get to the final. It's the fastest time she has ever done in her whole career. She's in terrific form, never had her in such form. The trap drawer is ideal. She's a complete white seed. She runs a wide berth the whole way around. I couldn't ask for better.
Well, that is how the first semi-final panned out. The winner there was quite wide at the very end. I wonder will that be replicated in the final here, which is now just about 10 minutes away. Well, that was semi-final number 1, and of course that first bend was crucial. There was bumping and bruising and so on. In the second semi-final, well, here you had 2 of the genuine favourites for the overall prize, and again, take a look at the first bend. Somebody should have told them something about nights out in Dublin on a Saturday night and hidden obstacles. Have a look.
The favourites in 5. The hare's behind the traps and away to go. She's away quite well. That's a very level start. Number 4 going up well. Ballymac Floss on the outside. 5 Graceland's picture, and there's big trouble, and the favourite is last. And into the far side, leading the way here is number 1 Side Saga, leading down the back from 2 Greg's Echo and 3 Page 3 Girl. The favourite is now in 4th, but into the third bend is number 1 Side Saga from 2 Greg's Echo. 3 Page 3 Girl is in third. Off the final corner, and number 1 Side Saga leading all the way here. Greg's Echo coming on in second. 3 is just going to hold on for third. That's Page 3 Girl. So it's 1, 2, 3. The favourites have all gone out of it in a sensational second semi-final. The time 28:65.
We bought her for fairly big money back in back in February, and we've had a few problems, but she was in the semi-finals of the Project Stakes, a little bit unlucky there, but then she almost came in season and she didn't come in season. So she's been off form for about the last 2 months, but we think we're getting her right now, slowly but surely. She ran well, she was a little bit lucky with the draw, she was drawn in 1. She came out all right, but she's tough, and she just drove through in the bend or whatever. There was a lot of trouble behind her, and I think there's a couple of really good ones gone, so it looks like we've got a decent shout in the final anyway. They're all dangerous really, but I think she's got a good chance. If she can trap, she's as good as that in the final, and we'll be giving her a good crack anyway.
So Stephen Burke hoping that it'll be second time lucky. As we said at the top of the programme at 9 o'clock, Mustang Mega, his dog, was second last year, and second, of course, also in Trap 1. That's the trap that Side Saga is in tonight. Well, let's take a look at number 2, and that's Greg's Echo, the youngster in the field from Rathdowney in County Laois. Is it going to be a big Laois weekend here in Dublin? Well, Darragh Morrissey is the young co-owner, and he's been giving us his thoughts during the week about how this may go and how the dog could run tonight.
We're very happy about her, and we have a good chance of winning the final.
And do you think she runs better on the inside, or do you think she runs better on the wide?
Depends. If it's an all inside race, she'd run better on the wide because she'd move out and they'll all move in. And if it's an all outside final, she'll have tons of room to run inside. So it depends on the other dogs.
My son Darragh there, he's 10, he owns her. And then Anthony Rose from Sheffield in England, he buys a few dogs off us here. And he bought into her after she won her first race in Shelbourne. She had a good clock that night in the novice pitch stake, but we had to withdraw her after with the cough. But he bought into her, and he bought a comrade of hers as well. He won a Consolation Stake up there for us 2 weeks ago, so hopefully he'll be looking at her on the night now. And we said we'd give her a chance in the Oaks. She was second the first night. She ran very well to one of Owen McKenna's witches. And then on the second night, she got run up the inside and she got away and she won. And on the quarterfinals then, she took on Side Saga. And she flew that night, hit the lead, made the bend and kicked on. A good run for us. Last week was a tough heat. We called it the heat from hell. We got through it, we're in the final, and we're hoping for the best.
Yes, they say that Greg's Echo still has a chance. She's in 2, she's 10-1, but the big thing is, I guess, she's got to be there ahead of Side Saga and Legal Moment after the first bend. You've got to be in front of those two, in my view, to win this. Ian, you've been down there checking on the latest prices. Just give us the latest details.
Well, Side Saga, she went back to, she went into 2-1. She's now back out to 9-4. There was a bit of 5-2 again. I think that's been snapped up. She's about 9-4 still available, about number 1 Side Saga. Legal Moment remains a 2-1 chance. She's friendless. Greg's Echo, she was subject to a little support. She's 10-1, and I do believe she represents big each way value.
Legal Moment has already been runner-up in the Scottish Derby, of course. So, good pedigree.
Oh, she's an unbelievable bitch. She's the most incredible record. There you see, she's a 2-1 favourite. Side Saga 9-4, 4-1 things to do. She remains a solid 4-1 chance. The people are nibbling at her, but not enough to quite bring her price in. But back to Legal Moment, I just think she's incredible. She's an incredible record of 25 wins from something like 41 races. It just beggars belief. I think she's going to take all the beating today.
And if our director tonight was going to break the bank and give you €2, where would it go?
Oh, well, no, I wouldn't have a bet generally myself, you know. But I'd have my euros, I'd have my €1 straight in Legal Moment, and perhaps a 50 cent each way on Greg's Echo.
Oh, you're one of the great gamblers of our time. That's Ian Fortune there. Right, it's time to settle down then and enjoy the 71st running of the Sporting Press Irish Oaks Final for 2004 then. In the commentary position, Michael Fortune.
Yes, the runners now just coming on parade, and we start, of course, with number 1 Side Saga. You've heard Stephen Burke, the trainer, talking about this one. Well, Side Saga, owned by Anne Cleary from Atfarnham, bred by Liam Phelan in Thurles in County Tipperary. This one started out winning an on-race stake at Thurles. She was a semi-finalist in the Produce Stakes and, of course, won the Consolation Puppy Oaks here not too long ago. She's been getting better with every run in this stake. A daughter of Hot Cruise in Coat Claw. She's a member of the very first litter sired by Hot Cruise here in Ireland. What a start it was for him, or what a start it will be if this bitch goes along and wins the final of the Oaks here tonight. That's number 1 Side Saga. She's won 10 of her 19 races. In 2 here is Greg's Echo. You've heard young Darragh Morrissey and his dad Jim, the trainer. And the other joint owner, Anthony Rhodes, of this daughter of Droopy's Vieri and Greg's Ditto, bred by the Morrisseys in Rathdowney. And of course, this well, as Ger has already alluded to it, could it be a big leash weekend here in Dublin? Greg's Echo, a model of consistency. She's run all her races here at Shelbourne. She's been in the first 3 on 8 of the 10 occasions she's run. She's won 3 of those, and all the races have been in absolutely top class. That's number 2, Greg's Echo. This one can break, she can come from behind. She's a real star of the future. She's already a star. In 3, the remarkably consistent Legal Moment, owned by Anne Buckley, trained by Pat Buckley. And of course from Collinstown in County Westmeath. Pat trains down in Doon in County Limerick. Anne and Bill Buckley bred this bitch themselves. She's been a great servant. She ran up the Scottish Derby earlier this year, this daughter of Judicial Pride and Legal Jan. She has won so much. She won the Toad Open Puppy Stake, the Red Mills Breeders' Club Trial Stake, the Doninga House Puppy 5-5, the Moyne Rebel Champion Bitch Stake, and she was a finalist this year in the Tote Gold Cup and the Red Mills Guineas, as well as running up the Scottish Derby. She really is a powerhouse. When she comes in season, she'll be retired to the breeding paddocks, and what a pedigree she will bring to those breeding paddocks with her. Number 4, Page 3 Girl, very much the outsider of the party, but we've seen already tonight, shocks are not too uncommon here. Owned by Alan Criven from Selbridge, bred by Ollie Criven himself, and trained by Mick O'Reilly in Baldonnel here in Dublin. A daughter of Rowan Oakey and Cry for the Clown. This one a Harold's Cross specialist. She's been running all her races in Harold's Cross until the start of the Oaks, and she's improved all the way through the Oaks. A bitch with a natural starter and very, very good early pace, but she has a horrible draw here in Shop 4. So that's Page 3 Girl, number 4, and here we see coming up number 5, Greenlock Slip, owned by Murty Henry from Portlanone in County Antrim, bred by Murty also and trained now by Owen McKenna, a daughter of Honcho Classic and Slippery Carmel. Owen only got this bitch shortly before the Oaks. All her previous 27 races had been either around Lifford or Derry, but she improved right through last year, was a finalist in the Northwest Oaks at Lifford and finished 4th in the final of that particular event behind that great bitch King Craig Brindle. Greenlock Slip now with Owen McKenna. He was probably his outsider starting off in this classic, where he had a number of very fancy bitches, and this is the only one that made it through to the final. And she's getting better with every run. This lady, Greenlock Slip, very good early pace, and she'll be very much to the fore and to the run to the bend here. And this brings us to number 6, Things to Do. You've already heard Pat O'Brien talking about this daughter of Spiral Nikita and Cushy Terry. She's a November 2000 bitch. You know, she's the oldest finalist in the race, but not the most raced. This one came to prominence last year at Enniscorthy, doing some flashy runs down there, and was 2nd behind Your Eyes Only in the final of the Leinster Oaks. And she's been improving all this season and really has come into her own here during this classic. And last week in the semi-final, you saw that powerful run she produced when beating Legal Moment by a couple of lengths in 28.61, a time that would have been a fair bit quicker had she not drifted so wide off the last bend. But as Pat explained there earlier, this one does run wide. She's very much an outside runner, and in that striped jacket she is ideally positioned. So there they are, the 6 runners for this final of the Sporting Press Irish Oaks. I wonder, have we another show of betting on this one, as the dogs will be going to traps now very shortly in pursuit of this €35,000 prize, of which of course the breeder receives 10% and the owner or the trainer receives an automatic 10% as well. But as Pat O'Brien is both the owner and trainer of this one, well, he would qualify in 2 counts. The breeder of this I didn't mention, Tom Codd and David Morris from Enniscorthy in County Wexford. They were the breeders of Things to Do. The runners now making their way over. They're just walking around that pre-race area, and now they're being called towards traps for this final of the 2004 Sporting Press Irish Oaks. It's traditionally a very exciting event, a great battle. Last year you had that, well, a titanic battle. And perhaps now we go back to Ger before the bitches go to traps.
Yes, 6 very attractive greyhounds, I think you'll agree, in tonight's final. They're about to go into traps, as you can see. What we're going to do now is show the 2 semi-finals in sync. Keep an eye on the 1, 2 and 3 in each of the 2 semis, and we'll run them in sync for you, and it'll give you an idea as to who is likely to be fastest. Have a look.
Well, now looking at the 2 semi-finals in sync, on the left hand we have number 5, that's Greenlock Slip going up. Both of these races very identical. They changed so much of that opening bend. And the first semi-final, number 6, Things to Do, slips through on the outside, going on from Legal Moment. In the other semi-final, you see Side Saga and Greg's Echo. They've had great clashes here in this Oak so far. They could have another one here tonight, but very little between them. 4 spots between the 2 semi-finals on the clock. Things to Do running very wide, giving away ground off that last bend. But in the other semi-final, Side Saga very emphatic in winning there. Yes, that was those bitches, as you saw, the two semi-finals there in sync. There we see Pat Buckley. He's already won Classic under his belt this year. He won the St. Leger final down at Limerick with Never Give Up just 2 or 3 weeks ago, and now his legal moment here in the final. But going in on the inside, Stephen Burke putting in Side Saga in traps for this one. She's the second favourite. Number 3, the favourite legal moment. On the far side, number 5, Green Lock Slip going in. Then number 6, Things to Do, is already there with number 4, Page 3 Gar, and here on the inside, number 2, Greg's Echo. Early pace will be vital here. What will get that opening bend? Number 1, Side Saga, rockets up the inside. Legal Moment can fly too. And number 5, Green Lock Slip. She's another big early pace. So too number 4, Page 3 Girl. There's a lot of early gears in this one as the bell goes for this one. The final of the Sporting Press Irish Oaks. In 1, Side Saga. 2 is Greg's Echo. 3, Legal Moment. 4, Page 3 Girl. 5, Green Lock Slip. And 6 is Things to Do. The favourites in 3, Legal Moment. Side Saga in 1, very much fancied as the hair comes behind traps, and away they go, and it's a level start on number 2, Greg's Echo as well, but there goes Legal Moment, and Legal Moment number 3 leads into the corner, and she gets around it in front from number 2 in second place, Greg's Echo. 4 is on the outside, total outsider, that's Page 3 Girl, heading down the far side, and 3, Legal Moment, with a lead of 2 lengths from 4, Page 3 Girl. Then comes 2, Greg's Echo in third, but it's all Legal Moment. This one powers on, she's not going to be beaten now. The favourites home and hose, it's coming up the straight. Number 3, Legal Moment, going to win it. A big run for second. The Page 3 Girl, number 4, holds on for second with 2, Greg's Echo in third. But Legal Moment has done it, and she's done it in 28.59. A powerful run here in the final of the Sporting Press Irish Oaks. So there's Pat Buckley grabbing the winner and giving her a hug and saying, well done, lady, and well, she really did deserve to win a Classic this pitch. She has been positively brilliant over the last 2 seasons, and she's produced a really emphatic performance here in the final tonight. Legal Moment flashing out of traps and dictating this race. Number 2, Greg's Echo, came away well. What a race Page 3 Girl ran. Look at her there on the outside going into the corner, but now once Legal Moment cleared them at this point, that was it. The race was over. Legal Moment in front, because she is a powerful stayer. She's going down the far side, 2 lengths from Page 3 Girl. As I said already, she ran a mighty race in second. Greg's Echo's in third. Nothing ever looked like getting into it apart from these. Number 3, Legal Moment. She's increasing her advantage now, powering her way to victory. This bitch had ran up earlier this year, the Scottish Derby over in Shawfield. Well, here she's taken, well, great consolation in winning the Sporting Press Irish Oaks, a truly deserving Classic winner. And what a prospect this one is when she retires very shortly to the breeding paddocks of Anne and Bill Buckley down in Collinstown in County Westmeath. Powering up the straight, Legal Moment to win the Classic here, the Bitch Classic, the one that all the breeders want to win. Legal Moment, the daughter of Judicial Pride and Legal Jan, a mighty performance and really a very, very emphatic one. So the favourite has obliged. Ian was saying there wasn't too much money in the ring for her, but she was still favourite at 2-1. There the result is confirmed. Legal Moment, number 3, the winner, the 2-1 favourite. Second, number 4, Page 3 Girl at 33-1. And third, number 2, Greg's Echo at 10-1. The time 28.59. So great scenes of celebration.
Amazing, wasn't it? Let's just say that was quite amazing. A Westmeath victory there, the favourite providing a wonderful victory, winning right from the line there. It was magnificent, and we're going to very shortly hear from the winning connections. But the Legal Moment, I beg your pardon, just coming through brilliantly altogether there as we go down to the track now, and Tracy is with the winning connections.
I am indeed. Pat, absolutely over the moon, and why not? My God, she's been so consistent.
She's a very consistent greyhound. She's over the first 3, I think, 3 times in her life out of 40 races. She's very consistent. I said if she bombed out, she had a big chance, and she bombed away. That was the winner.
There never seemed to be any doubt, though, and she just went, once the question was asked, she just went on.
You wouldn't come from behind her, you know. She'd be very crafty. Had enough pass on her.
Well, it's a very popular win indeed. What's the plan now, Pat?
She'll go for the Champion Stakes.
Yeah, she will.
Saturday night, and we'll just take it from there then.
Yeah.
She's a
tough one.
She's a tough lady, good ground.
Another win for Limerick?
Another win for Limerick, yeah. Another win for Limerick.
Enjoy it, Pat.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, thank you. Well done, well done.
Thank you.
So Legal Moment then has won the Oaks. We'll be taking a break very shortly, but subject to correction, I think the winning time there was so fast, only about 3 parts of a second outside the record for the Oaks, which was established by Marina Stina back here in 2000. We'll be enjoying the celebrations with the winning connections in a few minutes' time as they celebrate their victory on the Oaks at Shelbourne Park. That's right after the break. Welcome back here at Shelbourne Park. An awful lot of punters are mighty happy because Legal Moment, the favourite, has won the Oaks. Let's join the celebrations.
Yes, well, there we see the presentation being made. Anne Buckley accepting the trophy here from Tony McNamee, who's the president of the ICC. And I see just on Anne's left was the trainer, Pat Buckley, holding the winner. And of course, just in behind Anne, I see Tracy with her mic at the ready, about to interview Anne, I reckon, at this stage down there on the presentation podium.
I don't mind that.
Okay, now, you don't mind the dog. You take it.
Right.
Okay.
I'm getting in the way of the presentation here, but Anne, just a quick word.
Yes.
You've been dribbled all over now by
Never mind
this wonderful bitch, but she did a superb job.
She did. She really did it tonight. So now.
It's a big day for Westmeath tomorrow, but you've certainly done it tonight. Could be the double.
We have to win tomorrow now. It'll be the big double.
What does it feel like to breed such a great bitch like this?
I couldn't believe it. I knew a year ago that she was the makings of a fantastic bitch. And she came in season last year. We missed the Oaks. We were disappointed. So we said we'd have a go-ahead this year, and she did it in style for us.
She certainly did. And she's a bit unusual. I was stroking her head and I realised she only has 1 ear.
1 year, yes.
Tell us about that.
That happened when she was just about a week old. I think something got into the shed, or the mother was licking her and licked it a little bit too hard, the little ear. And I brought her to the vet, and he says he could do nothing about it, so it just fell off. But it didn't stop her.
Things do. It didn't stop her, did it?
It did not stop her from winning.
Certainly didn't. Enjoy the win, Anne. Many congratulations.
Thanks
well
very
done
much,
to you.
Tracy.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Yes, well, that was Anne Buckley, mighty delighted. And I'll tell you one thing, if Bill had been in there, her husband, well, he wouldn't have stopped talking yet, because Bill would tell you a good story or two at this stage. I'd say he's very, very happy with himself as Anne lifts the trophy there into the air, and she's very, very proud as the owner of Legal Moment, winner of the 2004 Oaks here at Shelbourne Park.
Well, that's a very, very happy moment indeed. Our congratulations all around. It might well be a big, big weekend for Westmeath. Legal Moment has done the business here. Of course, we mentioned earlier that she was the runner-up in the Scottish Derby, but there was no doubt about her pedigree here tonight. She was the favourite, and from trap to line, this was a mighty impressive performance. Enjoy it again.
The favourites in 3, Legal Moment. Side sag in 1, very much fancied as the hare comes behind traps, and away to go. And it's a level start for number 2, Greg Zeko, well, but there goes Legal Moment. And Legal Moment, number 3, leads into the corner, and she gets around it in front from number 2 in second place, Greg Zeko. 4 is on the outside, total outsider, that's Page 3 Girl. Heading down the far side, and 3, Legal Moment, with a lead of 2 legs from 4, Page 3 Girl. Then comes 2, Greg Zeko in third, but it's all Legal Moment. This one powers on. She's not going to be beaten now. The favourites home and hose. It's coming up the straight. Number 3, Legal Moment, going to win it. A big run for second. The Page 3 Girl, number 4, holds on for second with 2, Greg Zeko in third. But Legal Moment has done it, and she's done it in 28.59. A powerful run here in the final of the Sporting Press Irish Oaks.
It was exactly that, a very powerful run indeed. So the winner there from Westmeath, and that's a nice prize for the winning connections of €35,000, the Sporting Press Irish Oaks for 2004. Well, lots and lots of interesting people here in Shelbourne Park tonight, and Tracy Pickett has been down meeting some of them. One of them is Pádraig Heffernan.
Greyhound racing often turns up some amazing stories, and this is one of them right now. I'm joined by Pádraig Heffernan. And Pádraig, I'm really touched by this story, that your family gave you a dog after you had a triple heart bypass. Tell us a bit about that, Pádraig.
Yeah, it was a five blockages I had. I opened the Black Rock Clinic, and after the operation I wasn't well at all. I was very down and out myself. I had no interest in anything that was going on, and the family were worried about me. Every day they'd come in around the bed and I wasn't responding to anything. And this particular day anyhow, they came in and my son Bill was with them as well. And he said, look Dad, he said, you'll get over this. And when you do, I'll buy you a good Greyhound pup.
And he did.
the pup was never give up.
Now, not only did he buy you a beautiful pup, but turned out to be a really good dog.
Oh, he's a marvellous dog. He's one of the best in the country now, I'd say. He's a marvellous dog, yeah.
And when he won the St Ledger a couple of weeks ago, that must have been particularly special.
It was, because it is seldom enough now a Limerick dog wins it, you know, and the local crowd would be delighted with any local winner. There was huge excitement there, and that's just, we held it down to earth just after it, you know.
Well, you certainly look well recovered to me. Have you always followed the Greyhounds?
Oh, all my life, since I was a young lad, you know. My father before me, he was keeping a few as well, you know.
Yeah.
So I suppose you could say I was reared with them.
And of course, Pat Buckley trains Never Give Up for you.
Trainer.
And he has legal moment that I can see on your rosette, the big one.
And I hope she brings it off tonight, because he deserves it. I think he is the best trainer in the country, actually. Other people mightn't like to hear that, but I think he is.
And I think you're one of the luckiest owners, Porrick.
I certainly am, because several people would be in Greyhounds all their lives and they'd never get a good dog. You know, most people don't. So I do regard myself as very lucky.
And you have a wonderful family and continued good health to you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
That's all right. Thanks.
Yes, that's Porrick Heffernan there, enjoying his night out at the races here in Dublin. It's a very pleasant evening, has been all day indeed. Very good weather, and we're looking forward to some more tomorrow, and there's a lot of sport to look forward to. Right now we're going to look back at one of the earlier races on the card. This was the very first one, and it's over hurdles as well. It's a Sporting Press hurdle over 525 metres, 525 yards rather. Of course, it's in yardage in Greyhound racing. Lots of excitement, as always, when hurdles are involved.
Our third race, 525 yards in 1, Rockmount Ridge. 2 is Cheeky Honcho, 3 Few Dollars More, 4 Tinlock Mick, 5 Molly Malone, and 6 Greenview Dawn. Number 6 Greenview Dawn, the favourite for this one, as the hare now comes along the final bend up behind the traps. And away they go. It's number 2, Fast Out Cheeky Honcho, leading up on the inside with number 1, Rockmount Ridge. The favourite has it all to do. Number 6 in last place at the moment on the opening bend, but leading into the far side is number 1. That's Rockmount Ridge. He's gone on now. 3 lengths clear from 5, Molly Malone in second. 2, Cheeky Honcho, and 6, the favourite now beginning to make ground on the outside. Into the third bend, and 1 still in front, Rockmount Ridge, but they're closing. Molly Malone is moving up to challenge. So is number 6, Greenview Dawn, the favourite. He has to check wide off the final bend. Is number 5, Molly Malone. Here comes Greenview Dawn in second, but Molly Malone, number 5, wins it. 6, Greenview Dawn is in second, and then number 1, Rockmount Ridge, fades back to third, the time 29:29. Number 1, Rockmount Ridge, well away on the inside with 2, Cheeky Honcho. This pair had it between them to the bend. The favourite has a lot to do with this stage. Back in last place, now number 1, Rockmount Ridge, takes over at this stage, moves on by 3 lengths from 5, Molly Malone, but really if you're on 1 here, you'd think you're on a winner. But moving strongly in second is 5, Molly Malone. Just in behind her, 6, Greenview Dawn, beginning to make his effort. But number 1 fades rapidly. There is 5, Molly Malone, joins issue on the last corner, leads off the last bend, and here's number 6, Greenview Dawn, running on strongly. But Molly Malone is out front, and Ronan O'Shea's bitch goes on to win this one from 6, Greenview Dawn, as we see it again with Molly Malone exerting in the home straight, and both of these getting past Rockmount Ridge and actually pulling well clear of the third place dog to the line. And the result of the On the Grapevine 525, the winner number 5, Molly Malone, at 6-1, one for the bookmakers. Second, number 6, Greenview Dawn, the 2-1 favourite, and third, number 1, Rockmount Ridge, at 4-1, time 29:29.
Well, that of course was the third race and not the first. Obviously a lot of support for Molly Malone, the winner there. Now you're wondering, I'm sure, whatever happened to that first race and those hurdles and that excitement I promised you? Here it comes.
Our opening race, the Sporting Press hurdle. In trap 1, Rita's Rebel. 2 is Hot Diggity Dog. 3, Dunlow Prince. In 4, Satanta. 5, Bally Euro. And in 6 is Fleeting Fancy. We have joint favourites with the bookies here, number 3 and 5, Dunlow Prince and Bally Euro. The hare comes up behind the boxes, and away they go, and Dunlow Prince is off to a flyer. Into the opening hurdle is number 3, Dunlow Prince, leading up from 5 in second place, Bally Euro. And in 6th, third then is number 6, Fleeting Fancy. The 3 big fancies for the race as they head into the far side with 3, Dunlow Prince by a length and a half from 5, Bally Euro, challenging on the inside. They're 3 lengths back to 6, Fleeting Fancy in third, and then 1, Rita's Rebel. Onto the final corner, and it's 3, Dunlow Prince by a length and a half from 5, Bally Euro, who's trying to close. Fleeting Fancy back in third place, but has to go up the straight over the last turn. Oh, 3 takes a cracking fall, and that leaves the way open for 5, Bally Euro to win it from 6, Fleeting Fancy in second, and 1, Rita's Rebel third. The time a very fast 29:44. Just asked the question, what time would Dunlow Prince have done?
Okay, gotcha.
Yes, and away with Dunlow Prince getting away very fast, leading here from 5 in second place, Ballyeuro. They were the two principals, 6-4 joint favourites for this one, and into the far side, Dunlow Prince in front. Ballyeuro, it's between this pair all the way. For a while, Fleeting Fancy looked as if he was going to get into it, but now down towards the last hurdle on the back straight with 3, Dunlow Prince had been jumping so well up to this, going on now by about nearly 2 lengths there from Ballyeuro in second. They're clear of the remainder, but now watch the final hurdle. Dunlow Prince, the race at his mercy, takes off early, loses his foot in landing, and that's him out of it, and Ballyeuro gets through to win a rather fortuitous one. And there's the fall again. Oh, he came right down on top of the hurdle, took a very, very heavy fall, but the good news is he was back up again and running away merrily to the pickup, but a bit adrift of the winner, Ballyeuro. There's the result. Number 5, Ballyeuro actually returned at 7-4. In second place, number 6, Fleeting Fancy at 3-1, and third, number 1, Rita's Rebel at 5-1. The time 29:44.
Well, that was some fall there in that particular hurdle race, but lots of excitement as promised you. Well, that's about our lot for tonight, but before we go, can I remind you about sport coming up over the next couple of hours and couple of days. We have a feast of Gaelic football for you tomorrow afternoon in Sunday Game Live here on Network 2 with 2 provincial football deciders down for decision. First up, it's the Connaught final between Mayo and Roscommon, and that will be followed by the Leinster final between Laois and Westmeath. We're on air, of course, at 2 o'clock. And later on that evening, tomorrow evening, we have a roundup of all the weekend action on the Sunday game, and we're on the air at 9:30 again on RTE Network 2. And also tomorrow afternoon, but this time on RTE 1, we have racing live from the Curragh with the Darley Irish Oaks, the feature. The action there starts at 2:30. And then on Tuesday, we'll have action from the Samsung Super League in Aachen. Several of Ireland's Olympic hopefuls were in action. That's on RTE Network 2 at 11:45. So, a big sporting weekend coming up, and we've already started it here, and it's been a wonderful victory here in the Sporting Press final of the Irish Oaks for 2004. A victory for a legal moment. Congratulations to all concerned. Thanks for joining us, and good night.